Fun fact, I usually take showers before I record so I don't look like a homeless person. Doesn't always work. Oh, David? Do you want to die? Or are you, like everyone else, allergic to death? Shout out to Lillian for being there the first time I ever made that joke. I mean, do you want to learn more about the Spawn mythos? Or are you like everyone else and just don't care? Spawn Armageddon. It wasn't actually a choice. It was just, I needed a setup for the joke. Spawn Armageddon is a hack and slash game. But like Devil May Cry 1 hack and slash, where your attacks are slower than you think, and the heavy attacks really don't do as much damage as you want. But it's fine. As any good comic book anti-hero from the 90s, you have a boatload of weapons and powers. You start off with your axe as your melee weapon, and that's really it. You have spooky living chains for range, and a bunch of hell powers. You have your basic 3-hit combo with the axe, and then some fancy moves if you lock on and use a direction to hit. The frustrating thing though is that it looks like they took some of the moves from Soul Calibur 2 Spawn, which was released a year earlier, but they took all the booty ones? I don't know, man. And the game doesn't really tell you what the hell powers do, so if you're like me, you'll find out when you're panicking and experimenting on the fly. You have an AoE slime ball, a slime beam, an anger face. I don't know, I never used it. You got hell fast mode. You got a shield that also reveals secrets. I didn't find that out until the second part. Yeah, I was just messing around. In the comics, Spawn's hell powers are actually fueled by necroplasm, and as he uses it, it depletes a gauge, and when that gauge is completely empty, then he has to, lead a hell spawn army. So that's what the mana bar is. They got rid of it like 10 or 20 issues in. It was fucking dumb. You also find more range weapons along your way. You get what you'd expect, old hack and slash game. You got shotguns, pistols, submachine guns, miniguns, brimstone cannons, burst fire rocket launchers, and inferno cannons. The usual. You go from mission to mission, attempting to learn how things work together and how to defeat enemies in record time, since the game wants you to become the world's slowest blender. You can stun lock some enemies, and maybe some enemies are weak to some stuff. I don't know, I wasn't really crunching the numbers on this one, my man. There's also some neat little icons that turn red when you pass them, but they mean nothing in later missions. You also have some traversal abilities. Your chains can work like grapple hooks, you can double jump, glide, and jump off some surfaces, but there's no indicator on what walls you can jump off. Just look around, and when you see it, you'll know. In classic early 2000 hack and slash fashion, you collect souls through your missions. In between missions, you can go to a shop and buy upgrades with those said souls. I personally upgraded health and then my necro gauge because A, when you get a health / necroplasm pickup, you get a percentage of your bar refilled based on your maximum bar. And 2, because upgrading your range weapon seems a little bit silly. Only like 2 bosses really need range attacks to defeat them, and they're kind of And also, you have so many freaking guns. Story time. You're hanging out on rooftops doing Spawn things. Why is that even ask? You're just missing your old family and being edgy. When all of a sudden a bunch of hell energy spreads throughout the city, then your homie, main demon, Maman, tells you apparently it was a beam. Where? Point it to me. Show me where that beam hit. And it's an omen for things to come. And now demons are popping out of the woodwork. You find Violator. He's still butthurt that Malboja wants a human as his general for his stupid demon army. You shoot him 1,000,000 times. He then cryptically mentions that this is the apocalypse. Spawn thinks it's Jason Wynn. The dude had Al Simmons, Spawn, commit war crimes and then got him killed. So, Jason Wynn caused it to rain last week. Wynn also had a deal with Malboja for some hell magic, but not like apocalyptic strength stuff. Just, nightmare grade stuff. You meet back up with Maman. You've been pretty much doing nothing. Then Cygor attacks. You beat him up. You get ambushed by angels. It turns out that Maman just wanted to talk to them. Spawn gets butthurt and then goes to find his own answers. You go to the beam blast zone. Where the fuck is this beam from? Turns out the beam just shot a hole into hell. Usual stuff. You fight off some demons that are trying to make their way out. And then you just leave. You go and bump into the Redeemer. You're then told you can't kill him, and you run to hell. At some point, you get told that the beam was actually an angel weapon, that they've been capturing demons and siphoning their necroplasm power to power a satellite weapon, and that they're planning on invading hell. You try to make a deal with Malboja, and he's just like, nah, fight Violator again. He's got armor. You then defeat him, and you actually get to make a deal with Malboja saying, hey, I'll stop the angel weapon from firing ever again, and I get my old life back. And he's like, yeah, fine, do it, go. With the help from some rogue angels. Fucking Lucifer's groupies, my man, you know what I'm saying? You get into the angel tower, you fight your way through it. I was just zapping angels with, slime beams. And then you teleport up to the angel satellite. You break some power regulators and fuck this mission. Redeemer catches up to you, you run around in bright lights, and then he does a Power Rangers monster transformation. You fight, you shoot him with all your weapons. And then you run away. You lock the door behind you, and you force the station to fire again. I think you use, Redeemer as angel energy, and you undo the hellhole, and you also force it to backfire and blow itself up? I don't know. Al's getting ready to go back to his wife, but, you self-pranked, my guy. Deal was, weapon never fires again. And you push that button, so it's back to being edgy. The game's got some unlockables, just like the first 99 covers of the comic and cheat codes. But you gotta be fast on those button hits. It's rude. Spawn Armageddon is like a representation of life. You're just repeatedly doing the same thing and just, getting a little better at it. Or it's just a really crappy early 2000s video game that, trying to make a buck. Either way, we're both doing the best we can with what we got, so I can't fault it for that. Join me in like a month or 5 to realize why I am the way I am. I love you. Goodbye.